it doesn't matter how skilled of a negotiator you are. If you can't put in a lot of effort, you're not going to make it. Whenever we meet with a client, the first thing that we want to do, instead of meeting at a house, we want to move it to a coffee shop. The reason we want to move it to a coffee shop and not the office is because people actually show up to a coffee shop, whereas our show up rate at an office is really low. One of the things that we've done is we've created a specialized Zillow team. All they do is work Zillow. My advice to people is always, don't ever follow a comp plan. Always follow leadership.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Reside Platform podcast. My name is Suneet Agarwal, and I have a special guest today, Austin Pothast. Austin serves as the Director of Sales on the Perna Team out there in Detroit, Rock City, Michigan. And let me tell you guys, everyone listening and watching, when I was a third-year agent at Keller Williams, like, Perna Team was legendary. Still is legendary. But I remember, like, always hearing about you guys, following you guys on social media way back then. So getting the opportunity to know you guys and then work with you guys for so many years, it's going to be a real treat having you on. Why don't you share, everyone, Austin, just quick bio about how you came up in real estate?
2003, I actually sold subprime mortgages, Suneet. So I was selling 125%.
Me too.
Yeah, 125% with 3-year prepayment penalty arms and 4 points up front. And so I cut my teeth on sales. And then I went to Quicken, which is now Rocket. And I was a sales director there. And then I launched my own insurance company, and that crashed. And then I went back into banking, and then I got recruited to be the team leader at the Keller Williams office in Novi, Northville, Michigan. So it's a huge office. Grew that office from 260, 270 agents up to about 360.
Damn, that's big. Yeah, big office.
And then they fired me.
Well,
for doing that. And then
that's the role, isn't it?
And then you know what's crazy? I was salty about that for a while. And is salty a Midwest thing? That means I was a little upset about it. I was
sure.
But anyway, so I was salty about that. And then I connected with Perna, and we've grown the team from, I don't know, about 400 transactions, 20 agents, little under 100 million in volume. And over the past few years, we've gone up to, we peaked at 130 agents. It was too many. We're sitting at about 75, 80-ish right now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And we're going to do, our best year, we were 900 transactions for 230 million. You know, that's just our price point out here. And
absolutely, you guys are grinding.
Yeah. And, you know, we dropped down a little bit last year. We'll be up this year. So that's kind of my background.
Yeah. And one of the great things about your guys' team is I love the structure. So for people, can you just share about the structure? Cause you have Sadie, you got the whole crew, you got Josh, you got everybody, right?
Yeah, we're really unique, I think, from like all the other teams, Suneet. We've got 4 powerhouse people in leadership positions. So Perna's our CEO. He really runs the marketing arm, and
of course,
kind of the vision.
That's all we want to do is do marketing.
Yeah. and he runs around and does all the Instagram stuff and whatever. He loves doing that stuff. Anyway, so and then Sadie is our director of coaching and training, and she's kind of our get shit done person. You know, we all have these crazy ideas, and she helps execute.
We need to get Sadie on the show soon too. But
yeah, she's doing it in a heartbeat. As a matter of fact, she's going to be at Maverick speaking on stage in Dallas.
Oh, cool. We too.
And then Charity is our director of operations. She's just got that operations brain. She's a powerhouse.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I'm kind of I think probably the voice, right? I do all the team meetings. I do a daily huddle. I run recruiting. I run the ISA team. I run like our deal doctoring team. We call it Hotline Bling. But yeah, we're kind of there's the four of us. And then we've got a killer ISA team.
Killer ISA.
Dude, we're the only one left in Metro Detroit with an ISA team. Everybody, all the other major,
bro, nationally, there's way less.
Yeah. So that's been really interesting. Like we told our top agents last Thursday, and their face was like, "What?" Because we're setting, dude. Those guys are killers, man. We're setting 400, 500 appointments a month on that ISA team. So it's been,
I know,
inspired.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of stuff like that.
That's something really good is, sure, like, you guys set more listing appointments than anybody else that I know with the ISA team.
Yeah. It's been the primary focus, kind of all year.
Which I think is great, yeah.
Yeah.
Good, so I want this to be value-packed and actionable, and you're so full of good knowledge, so I'm gonna get it out of you with some more thought-out stuff. Let's talk about one of my favorite topics, and yours too, recruiting. Tell me what's working for you in recruiting right now in 2024.
By the way, who do you think's recruiting more agents the past 10 years, me or you?
You've been doing it longer than me, but still me.
You still think you?
Yes.
I'll call it 8 years. I don't think I've had a year under 150 agents in a year for 8 years.
Well, yeah, then you have me beat because I've only been recruiting hard for 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
still think more?
Just by time, but also, I've only done one appointment myself all year.
Yeah, you've got some killers on your staff. All right, what's working, what's not working? So, a couple of years ago, you could run at new agents like through Indeed Spend and find some really great talent there, especially coming out of the pandemic because people were getting government checks. And so you need that like 90-day, 6-month, 1-year runway to get into real estate oftentimes. And so we were able to find some really talented people and get them to stick around coming out of that. That's lessened. So like we used to, what we would do is we would end up offering positions to like 80 people a month. And maybe 1 out of 5 of them would actually follow through and get their license, but we were able to hire 15 people a month.
Getting unlicensed people, putting them through a program from Indeed. Okay.
Yeah, correct. And then so that's gone down. We're still probably about 10 a month off that.
Indeed period?
Yeah, we're probably or like online job ad type sources, but Indeed's a big one. I
love me some Indeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, the other thing that we did, I launched in October maybe, and we launched, and so we have a recruiter that works, and I also do recruiting, and then Perna also does recruiting. So we all three hit recruiting, but we launched a VA to call and just set appointments for existing agents on people's calendar. And so like on Lori's calendar, who's our recruiter. And so that's been effective. We're getting a few hires a month out of that on existing.
Call or text or both?
Call.
Okay.
Yeah, call. It's actually a really simple script. It's just, it's ring. Hey, is this Suneet?
Hey, yeah.
Hey, Suneet. Hey, it's Austin Pothast, and I work with the Perna Team. And can I share with you our biggest challenge right now?
Sure.
Cool. We have so many clients that we don't have enough agents to work on. We have appointments we put on people's calendar. We have a database. Would you be open-minded to taking on some clients?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I'm going to set you an appointment to talk to our recruiter. And that's it.
Yeah.
And so we build up. I'm talking like Lori will have, 8, 10 appointments, like phone call appointments a day.
A day? What's the show up rate?
Low, 50%.
50% is pretty good for this.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, 40, 50%. And then the entire conversation, all we're trying to do is funnel them into a team meeting. And so we recruit really heavily off the team meeting. So we'll recruit a new agent off of Zoom. We do a daily Zoom. and we'll recruit a new agent off Zoom and let them get a feel for the company. We'll do a little Q&A with them afterwards. But with somebody with a license, we want them to come in the office and experience things. And then what we do is we meet with them after the team meeting in a room and just open up for questions and explain everything. And then we pull out the contract and go, hey, I'm not going to pressure you. Let me just go through the contract with you. And we go through the contract and we see how many of them we can get to sign right there. And
so I want everyone to listen. And I know this about Austin in their group interviews.
Yeah.
Which is beast mode. I've said that to you forever. The group interviews. I really love that, dude.
All of our recruiting is group interview for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And then Perna goes out and he does one-on-one meetings. So people at like a coffee shop. But even then, his entire purpose is to get them into a team meeting so that we can get them into the room afterwards, do a group interview, and then talk to them about the team and ask for the signature.
Yeah, love that. I have a VA that does the recruiting as well.
Yeah.
And what I found was that oftentimes text messaging is giving us greater results for the output.
Yeah.
Here's the recruiting text. Hey, Austin, this is Suneet with Big Block. Just reaching out because we're busy. We have way too many appointments and need help and need more agents to help. Let me know if you want to hop on a call to discuss. Almost the same thing that you're saying.
Yep.
Good job.
I actually been second guessing that entire script because one of the challenges, dude, is when you recruit people based on appointments, it's also the reason they leave you. And so it's like, so I waffle with it. Like, gosh, should we lean less into the appointment side? Like, and instead just talk about, hey, we have so much business, or we're great at helping you build a business. Would you take a meeting? And I waffle back and forth philosophically with what to do with that.
Well, there's only one. I mean, is it a philosophical thing, or is it you want to know what works better? If it's the second thing and you want to know what works better, you have to test it.
Yeah.
Right? But is it about it working better? Because valid, you have too many appointments. We just said 400 or 500 appointments, right? And is it always easy to route all of those appointments? No, right? Which we can also talk about. So Indeed is working. The online stuff is working.
Yep.
The VA is working.
Yep.
All stuff that I do as well. What is there anything else that you can point out? How about the social media? Is that doing anything for you guys?
Yeah, I tend to, so we're EXP in full disclosure. So obviously we build revenue share. I tend to do a lot of, I tend to run my social media content towards like just agents out in the community and all across the country to build revenue share. Although some of that trickles to the team Mike tends to, so we're running some social media stuff like here. Our newest one is we're having a free brand photo day. So like we got this really cool in downtown Detroit, we got this really cool new construction. And so we're putting together an event where our photographers will be there and agents from all over the community can come in and take branding photos, not just headshots, but like kind of live action branding.
Sure.
We have that coming up on Thursday. And so we've started to do more stuff like that, invite people to events where they can get some value. We also do like a quarterly all team advance. Which is like a quarterly meeting where we come in and we bring in guest speakers. Like we've had Keith Pike in that before. We've had Bill Pipes has come out for it before. We've had like some really cool names. I'm going to have to, I've been in your ear about it. We got to get you out here. It's cool. And so
I've never been in Detroit.
Yeah, we got to get you out here. And so
wait, is there like a rock and roll museum out there?
Not really. We got Motown.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we have Motown. Like we're Smokey the Robinson and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So you have those events.
Yeah. And so we invite people to all that stuff. And, look, we want to have 10, 20 recruits in the room and they get a feel for what's going on. And hopefully we can continue a conversation that way. So we recruit pretty effectively out of that. So we do a lot of event recruiting. I would say, once a month we have something, once every other month we have something. And it doesn't always bear a lot of fruit, but I imagine, so we just had our all team advance on Tuesday. I imagine we'll pull 3 hires out of it.
Wow.
So existing agent hires. Yeah.
So you guys are cranking. Those are all great things to do for recruiting. Let's talk about.
Feel like enough to us though. Gosh, I'm just trying to figure out a way to get 10 all at once or 20 all at once,
Yeah.
So,
let's talk. So the recruiting, you're a master. I love the ISA program, and I think it'd be super valuable. Let's talk about that. When a brand new online lead comes in, where does it go?
Well, it depends. We have some that get routed right to the ISA team. We have some that get routed right to a pond system with the agents. It depends on kind of the lead source, cost to lead, cadence on how quickly you have to follow up, and so stuff that needs super fast phone calls obviously goes to the ISA team. A lot of our Facebook marketing and things like that, because the average time to convert a Facebook lead is more like 15 to 18 months. Well, so actually it's more effective in our pond system to drip on those guys for a while. And then when the agents start calling them after they've been in our system for 6 months, 12 months, we convert more of those. And then there's other lead sources that you got to be on them, Johnny, on the spot. So
Zillow.
Zillow and all that kind of stuff. Although Zillow, we've taken out of the hands of the ISA, they ring right to the agent's cell phone now. So one of the things that we've done is we've created a specialized Zillow team. All they do is work Zillow calls.
Oh,
and because what we found is, look, we're setting so many appointments for our top agents that they don't work them as hard. It's not even their fault. It's just how hard are you supposed to work something if you're getting 15 at bats a month?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're finding that oftentimes some of the Zillow stuff is better off in kind of in a less established, hungrier agent's hands, So we created a Zillow team that we've been funneling those leads to. And then we have overflow kind of system. So if we don't, so we have a certain amount of people on buyer appointments, a certain amount of people on listing appointments, a certain team of people on Zillow appointments. But then we also have people that maybe don't qualify for appointments because their production levels haven't hit it, or maybe they were on appointments, but the production fell off. And so they don't qualify right now. But then they have the ability to be on overflow. And so we overflow those appointments over to them and to make sure that we have the coverage.
Yeah. And then so Facebook, maybe PPC just goes right to the pond. ISAs may call. Yep. Agents may call.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep. And even then, the ISAs used to call those out of the ponds, and we don't. We've got those guys almost exclusively either on the really, really need to be on it stuff on the buyer side, or just all sellers all day long. Just all sellers all day long.
Got it. What about for the listings? Are those routed through an ISA?
Yeah. All listing appointments are routed through the ISA.
Good. How are you guys doing on those listing appointments?
We got some really cool results. I think we look at a few different metrics. One is our set to met, how many of those appointments are actually showing up. And we're pretty consistently between 60 and 70% on listing appointments, which is, call it 60, call it between 55 to 65, right? And that's pretty good. And then I think probably the stat that we're most proud of is our listed with others. So if that client actually lists their home, not just I'll kick the tires, actually lists their home, what percentage of the time do they list with us versus others?
Sure.
97% of the time with us, 3% with others.
That's a great stat to know. Great job.
It's just, and so we're really proud.
That's what matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that tells us that our listing process and the training, and because our listing process is intense. If you're going to be on listings, just learning our listing book is 60 days. I mean, you better know it cold before we let you out on listing appointments.
How many agents do you think are on the listing team, if you had to guess?
It fluctuates between about 15 and 20.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
Okay.
Good. Let's talk about like your meetings, your sales meetings, your trainings. Break those down.
Yeah. Okay. So we do a daily Zoom.
What's your time?
9 a.m., 9 to 9:20.
Mandatory?
Yes. And as mandatory as you can make things for real estate agents.
Okay. So if I don't show up, then what?
We have a tracking system called scoreboards. The idea behind that is like, look, man, if you're playing a basketball game, you better be able to look up and know what the score is and how much time is left at any given time. And so we track how many meetings you show up to, how many conversations you had, how many BAs you signed, how many phone calls did you make, what was your total talk time. We track all that, and we just send it to you on a sheet every single week. And so when someone reaches out to us and goes, I need help, I need coaching, the first thing that we're going to do is pull up the scoreboard and go, dude, you're not even showing up to the meetings. Why? Like, I'll tell you what, why don't you get your effort piece down and actually start having conversations and actually start making phone calls and actually start going on appointments and show up to all the meetings. And why don't you do that for a couple of weeks, and then I'll meet with you one-on-one. Yeah. Right. So there's a scoreboard system that we can instantly, it's just like instant accountability, but we don't really do much. Look, I can't want it more than you. If you're not going to show up for stuff, that's on you.
Absolutely.
Our show up rate for our meetings is 90%. I mean,
so you have a Zoom huddle
every day.
Every day. What day is the sales meeting?
Tuesdays in the office.
Does the Zoom huddle on Tuesday too?
Yeah, you could sit on Zoom. And so I would say,
is there an additional huddle on Tuesday or no?
Nope. That's the huddle. So 9 to 10 on Tuesday mornings. Yeah.
What other weekly trainings do you guys have in there?
We have something on our Thursday morning Zoom. We have something called Perna Team University, PTU, where top agents on the team teach different topics. We've actually been leveraging that time for the past few months, and we hired Brian Danny to come in and teach every Thursday.
No, great. Yeah.
So that's
bringing someone else.
And then once a quarter, we have our all team advance, which is a mandatory offsite, we give out awards. It's an all day thing. We give out training, and then it's really, that's the time when Mike speaks to the group too. He'll do like a Q&A and talk about vision stuff. So it's
great.
One time Mike speaks to the group.
Oh, wow. Let's talk about, you guys do like any kind of call hours, Wednesday call nights. You guys do that stuff?
No, we've been doing Monday Mayhem.
Okay. Why don't you tell everybody what Monday Mayhem is?
Yeah. So Monday Mayhem, you guys, is like, it was actually a Bill Pipes invention.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you have everybody come in at 8:30 in the morning and they learn a script. So we have a new script. We chant it, we role play, we practice with one another, and then we get on the phone starting at 9, and we go in 50-minute increments, 9 to 9:50. Take a break for 10 minutes, 10 to 10:50. Take a break for 10 minutes, 11 to 11:50. Take a break for lunch, return your calls. And we do that all the way until 4 in the afternoon. And we just have everybody in the office or on Zoom. We get about a 40%, 50% participation in that. And I don't think we've ever set under 100 appointments in one day.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, which, what's even crazier, I'm really proud of, Suneet. No one in the country that I know of has ever set 100 appointments in a day. And so Bill Pipes ran an event once where it was like, we did it 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I was in there.
You were? Okay.
Yeah.
We set in 4 weeks, we set almost 550 appointments.
So it's something incredible. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah. So we just ran a mini one. We just did it not this past Monday, but the previous 2 Mondays in a row. We set 125 one week and 105 the next week. And that's a huge boost in the business. So
yeah, that's great. So many more at bats. Something you mentioned that I want to talk about is you guys. How long have you guys been using buyer broker agreements?
A decade.
Okay.
I mean, forever. We do a buyer presentation, just like listing presentation. Yeah.
So when you get a buyer lead, let's say it comes in from Zillow and goes to an agent direct.
Yeah.
Do they schedule the appointment at the house, or do they schedule? Tell me that framework there.
Can I just we call it run the play? I'll just tell you the whole play. Ready?
Tell me the play.
Here goes. Run the play. It's one of our core values. We talk about it constantly. All right. So whenever we meet with a client, the first thing that we want to do, instead of meeting at a house, we want to move it to a coffee shop. The reason we want to move it to a coffee shop and not the office is because people actually show up to a coffee shop, whereas our show up rate at an office is really low.
Sure.
And so what we'll do is we'll get them to meet us at a coffee shop, and we just say, hey, look, from a safety standpoint, and also we want to meet and learn about what you want to do. And then we just ask them, what are you looking for in a house? And I call it a what else conversation. What are you looking for in a house, Suneet? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Until they've gotten it all out. And then at that point, we pull out our presentation, talk about our value, ask for a signature. Okay. And so the idea behind that is people aren't going to be willing to listen to what you have to say until you've listened to what they have to say. So we just let them get it all out. Right. And so then we move the meeting to a house, and we coach the agents to show 3 to 5 homes. And we don't ever want to have a meeting with a client where we're not showing them at least 3 to 5 homes. If you don't show them enough, it's not enough contrast to make a decision. If you show them too many, it overwhelms them. So it's always 3 to 5 blocks, right?
Well, you know that Redfin has that statistic that if you show somebody more than 3 houses the first time, you are 90% more likely to earn that client's business, in as much that Redfin will actually pay out a bonus to the showing agent if they make it to the 3rd property. So, I mean, they are a big tech company. They have tons of data. Works for me.
Makes sense. We've been doing that for probably 5-6 years now. And then, look, one of 2 things are going to happen. We're either going to write an offer on a property, or we're going to set an appointment for the next set of showings. The other thing I coach our agents to do is I don't care about winning an offer. I only care about writing an offer. And because what I found in my experience in sales is that, 1, I've never gotten an offer accepted that I haven't written. And 2, I just find right? So just write an offer. Quit worrying about winning it.
Dude, I mean, let's talk about the sales process. You have to have the prospect comfortable with putting pen to paper.
Correct. And so I just need them off the fence. And so much of the time we don't end up winning a property because they feel an anxiety about it. So it's like, just get them to write one offer. I don't care what the offer it is. I don't care if it's 100,000 under. I don't care if it's half price. I don't care if it's 20,000 under and there's multiple offers. I don't care. Please just write the offer. Make them go all the way through the process. And because they'll learn the process. And then what I find is once a client is comfortable and starts writing offers, they never stop.
Yep.
And at that point, it's just a matter of time before they win the property. And so I actually had someone challenge me once, like, oh, that feels a little manipulative. I totally disagree because it might mean that I have to lose these 2 properties to actually win the one that really I want for my family. And if I don't take them through that process, then they would have lost the one that they really love.
Yeah, dude. Great. That's so good. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and listen to that again because I love the framework around it. Yeah. And when the whole NAR settlement, all the news broke and the real estate internet world fractured, you know what the first thing I thought of, dude, was the Perna Team. I was all, look, these dudes got the ISAs. I haven't texted Chef that. I was like, you know who has nothing to worry about? Perna Team.
Thank you.
First day, Austin. That's what I said to him.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, because I know you guys have been doing that, and it crushes. And like, are buyer brokers mandatory in Michigan? Nope. I mean, they are now, but it's not in effect. Being that we're on the subject, so number 1, good job on doing that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is what training are you guys doing around the NAR settlement?
Well, we've already started to do a little bit of it. 1, it's just kind of business as usual because we always train it. And so I'd say probably one of the biggest challenges is, what do you do with a client that maybe came in off Zillow or only wants to meet you at the house?
Yes.
We've had to create some new scripting that we've already practiced. So here's what we're doing. This is gold, by the way. So here's our process. If the client refuses to meet us at a coffee shop, and we have to meet them at the front door. So we get there early, we drive around the neighborhood, make sure that we know something about the neighborhood so that we can create some value, know where the park is, know the different comps, that kind of stuff. And we make sure that we're there early. We open the front door. We're standing on the front porch. Client comes up. We go, hey, Suneet, man, thank you so much for meeting with us. Hey, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to love this house and we're going to talk offers, or just like a lot of my clients, you're not going to love it. And so my guess is you're like a lot of my clients, that you're sitting there scrolling online and you just don't see anything that you like. And so I've got a really great system of finding properties that aren't even on the market yet. And so I set up a time at a coffee shop for us to go talk. And then I actually sent 2 other showings. Now, before we even enter into this home, though, I'm not even allowed to show you this property until we have this buyer broker agreement signed. It's mandated, by the state of Michigan now and by the National Association of Realtors. We have no choice. You got to sign this for this property. So now we've already got a signature in motion.
So single property.
Okay. So then, because I just want to get things in motion, right? Like, and what I find is if you got a commitment on one property, you're probably going to get a commitment on all the properties.
Yes, it's more likely you have someone signing something.
Plus, on top of that, we've already set up the coffee shop. Plus, on top of that, we've already set up 2 other showings at other properties. You want to talk about a value add?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's doing that.
No.
So now now there's a real value add there, because, hey, my guess is, look, we already know what the objections are from buyers. They don't see anything that they like.
Yep.
For the price they want to pay, guys. They see lots of shit they like. Man, there's a bunch of $1 million, $2 million homes that I like. I just don't want to pay that amount of money, right?
Yeah.
So the objection is never, I don't see anything I like. I don't like. The objection is always, I don't see anything I like for the price that I think I should have to pay.
So what do you do with that?
So you say, great. So if you're like anything like my clients, you've been sitting there scrolling on Zillow and you just don't see anything you like. I actually have this great system to find properties that aren't even on the market yet. Yeah. I set up a time at a coffee shop and I'll show it to you. By the way, it's free. It's awesome.
Yeah. Good. Money.
And so then we're moving them. So even though we have to meet them at the house, we're now moving them into our proven process. We're moving them into the sales cycle, into the play. And it just works. When you run the play, it works. And if you don't, it doesn't,
Good. That's awesome. That is fire, dude. That's one of the things I wanted to get out of you for this call, for this podcast, because you guys have been doing it at such a high level. So I think that's super valuable. What else is working for you guys, dude, across the board?
Conversations.
35 2-minute conversations.
Yeah.
What's the data that you have on? So everyone that doesn't know, John Cheplak's been telling us for a while now, they looked at enough data, 35 2-minute conversations equals a transaction.
Yep. So look, here's what ended up happening is our agent count ballooned way up, and we had a bunch of people that didn't want to do the work. And in this market, you just can't get away with it. 2 years ago, you could make it as an agent and not do a lot of effort because we just needed bodies to open doors and to negotiate things.
Absolutely.
But now you need not only the skilled negotiator, you also need someone that's kind of a workhorse if they're going to run a big business. And it doesn't matter how skilled of a negotiator you are. If you can't put in a lot of effort, you're not going to make it. So we implemented a standard where in order to qualify for our appointments, you got to hit 35 2-minute conversations for the week. And so we do it on a monthly. So it's 140 for the month. And look, people fought it hard. Like, I'd have a meeting with our top agents. I had a bunch of people fight us. And I kept on saying, hey, let's just see where we stand in 90 days. I might be wrong. Guys. Let's just see where we stand. Well, fast forward 60 days in, we have 30 less agents. So April to April, ready for this? 30 less agents on the team.
Okay.
Versus this time last year, 30 more pendings.
Wow.
Yep. So the people that bought into it and actually executed on it, they're having way more closings. So
Dude, that's so awesome.
30 less agents, 30 more closings. It's crazy. We were looking at Sisu like, this can't be right. We can't, like, we thought Sisu was broken.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost so easy to like say, oh, the tech is wrong. Not that I actually won. Right? They're all good. Well, man, I think you brought some fire. I like got a bunch of notes and we've worked together for years. So I love the recruiting stuff always. I love the ISA stuff always. The buyer broker, like, you're one of the experts as far as I'm concerned.
You guys doing with that, by the way?
I retooled the entire buyer presentation.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with the flow. We are currently training to it. I mean, look, like California, no one's done them. That's been our thing. No one there's one agent on my team who has used them forever. I think all my top producers have never used one.
Yeah.
I have never used one.
Yeah.
So this training, I'm confident in the group, and I'm sure that we will be able to overcome that training. The interesting part, once it goes into effect, will be compensation, and it's kind of an unknown. I have 3 scripts prepared, but it's going to be an unknown.
Yeah.
Where you're selling compensation piece.
You know, I get asked, can I tell you something, man, that you do really well? I get asked, especially people first, like, I get the opportunity to mentor people, or like just people ask advice, that kind of thing. My advice to people is always, don't ever follow a comp plan. Always follow leadership, because the money's going to come. And like, so like you look at our Detroit Lions, for you guys that are football fans, like, dude, we were the worst franchise ever. And then we changed leadership and all of a sudden we're playing in some big games.
Was it really ever?
The worst franchise in the history of the NFL.
I didn't know that.
And we played for a chance to go to the Super Bowl last year. So it's like, so you always follow leadership. And so, look, the fact that you have a plan, and the fact that you're on the forefront of this stuff, and the fact that you're interviewing people from all over the country trying to figure out what they're doing, and the fact that you're going to conferences, and the fact that you're retooling your presentations, and the fact that you're, like, I'm telling you, the money's going to money flows to leadership, not comp plans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I want to be prepared. I have to win.
Yeah.
Period. Right? Just like you, like, we just got to win. I don't care what it is. I don't care if we're playing Tekken and I got to do a kick with martial laws to win. Like, I got to win.
Well, and I think it's bigger than that too. Like I know what you're trying to say, but look, you also take responsibility. You're a fantastic dude. You take a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of families that rely on you.
Yeah.
And you take
dude, nationally, we have such a great, coaching and all the other platforms. Like, we're really fortunate. And not only do I want to win, but I want the people that work to win. Yeah. Right. That's the thing. So, but same with you. That when we're both friggin' winners and we like hanging out with each other. Good. So if somebody wants to follow you on TikTok, which they should, because it's been fire. I know you've been getting some views on there. What's your TikTok name? Here. Get it in here.
It's at Real Estate Coach at Real Estate Coach Austin.
At Real Estate Coach Austin. Dude, it's so good. It's so actionable and raw. I love it. I've been seeing you popping up. Do you ever see my stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Yours is way more polished than me. I'll just like pop in there and just like yell at them.
Well, mine is like years now, right? So I used to do all those videos. I ran out of that stuff to say, but I'm working on it. So at Real Estate Coach Austin, if somebody wants to talk to you about your downline, learning more, how should they reach out to you? Or sending you a referral for some business out in Detroit?
Dude, you could just give everybody my cell phone. Please don't email me. I'm the worst at email. You 734-218-1653. Call me. Go.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just give Austin a call. He's a good
just
guy.
Call me. Yeah.
So, guys, I hope Austin drops some fire. And there's a bunch of actionable stuff in here. So, listen to it, implement, see how you can improve the processes in your business. These guys are legends in the real estate team space. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, share it with a friend who will like something out of it. Post it on social media. We don't run any ads on this podcast, and we just want to give value. So the biggest compliment in the world is if you share it with a friend, like and subscribe. Thank you, Austin. We'll see you soon, and we'll see everyone else in the next podcast.